You'll see some family dynamics. You'll see Alondra and Sydney have that sisterly bond with a little bit of mischief. You'll see some action sequences. And you'll really get to see, I mean, outside of Sydney, I think you'll see each character. You'll see a beautiful arc for each character, I'll say.
Long time no see.
No, right?
Gosh, wasn't that premiere incredible? I'm still coming down from that high.
Me too. It was so much fun. Oh my God.
It was so good. So, I mean, so a little housekeeping before we start. This interview is going to be published on the 23rd after episode 2 drops. So we can talk about the first 2 episodes and,
Perfect.
Go into spoilers.
Sounds good.
Awesome. All right. Ashlei Sharpe Chestnut. See, I'm so sorry I messed up your name on the red carpet. Now I'm over.
Oh, no, relax. No, it's fine.
All right, let's get going here because there's so much to talk about. I'm so excited to do this interview. So it's been 2 episodes so far of Picard, and I think it's safe to say that Sydney will be a big fan favorite character, if not already, and even more so as the season progresses. So we only see a few scenes of Sydney so far. So can you tell us a little bit about Old Crash the Forge?
Yeah. So the history of what Frakes talks about, she would crash these, ships essentially, and but I think the beginning, the way you're introduced to Sydney, she's kind of like this innocent, very studious, very about her business type of character. And I think as the season progresses, you'll really get to see her stand in her own. And I think too, like that first scene where you see her talking to Riker and Picard, and she's just like, hi, you don't remember me, but hi, I'm Sydney. And that type of energy that she has. I really am excited for fans to see her progression throughout this.
Yeah, I mean, so much cool stuff happens we can't even talk about, but I'd love to get into it when later on.
Yeah.
So listen, your career before Picard has been great. You Gotham, Homeland, Cruel Summer, NCIS. What was it like when you got cast, not just for Star Trek, but for this character, the next generation of LaForge?
Oh man. So when I initially auditioned for this, they didn't tell me what it was for. And so it's funny enough, my mom, who's a huge Star Trek fan, was my reader for the audition. And I did something in my audition where I was like panicking or something. My mom goes, this actually sounds like Star Trek. I don't think that character would panic in this way. Do it a different way. Long story short, I did it a different way. And then I ended up booking this role, but I had no idea that it was Geordi's daughter. Until I actually got the official call from my agent, and they were like, yeah, you booked Star Trek, by the way. And not only did you book Star Trek, but you're playing Geordi LaForge's daughter, Sydney LaForge. And funny enough, my mom, again, was in the room when I got the call. We're both losing our minds. I mean, this is an iconic character, like it's insane to be, I guess, the daughter of this character.
Yeah, we have to thank your mom now. Your mom's Star Trek fandoms got you this role partially. That's amazing.
Yeah.
So I love that both you and your sister, Mika Burton, as Alondra, both your characters honor Geordi's roles on the Enterprise, because it's really easy to forget that Geordi was the helmsman in season 1 of TNG before he became chief engineer. I think that's so cool.
Yeah. We talked about this briefly. Levar and I were saying, like, you'll see kind of the differences in our family dynamic and how Sydney is the helmsman woman of this, of the ship. But like Geordi also started that way initially too. And when you see them kind of have their moment, and we talk about that.
Like you, Mika and Levar told me at the premiere that the Burton family kind of adopted you in real life and made you an honorary Burton. Yeah. Levar told me you're his kid now.
Yeah, I know. I love it. Yeah.
That's so awesome. So, but was there ever an idea where all 3 of you LaForges wore visors in a scene? Like the visor's a family thing, like wearing matching pajamas at Christmas?
I didn't experience that at all, but I totally would be down to do that.
That'd be amazing. I mean, if we ever get a chance to do this, for you to play this role again and all of 3 of you together, that really should happen.
Yes, with the visors on.
That'd be amazing. So let's talk about the first 2 episodes a little bit. One of the coolest little subplots in episode 2 is that Sydney has a friendship with 7 of 9. So tell me a little bit about that relationship, and also having these amazing scenes with Jeri Ryan.
Well, first of all, Jerry's just phenomenal. I mean, outside of Star Trek, but jumping in and finding this relationship, because 7 of 9 knows or Commander Seven, as Sydney calls her, knows of Sydney's history and who her father is and how she's trying to create a name for her own. She kind of takes her under her wing, and kind of helps Sydney realize that she can be outside of her dad's shadow, if that makes any sense, you know?
Yeah, it's such a really cool dynamic, a little unexpected, but like it's so great to have like that legacy character kind of mentor your brand new, but also a legacy character. It's such a great touch. And then of course, like in episode 2, we finally see Captain Vadic on screen, Amanda Plummer, who is amazing.
I know.
So I'm curious whether like you saw her footage during your scenes when you were all reacting to Vadic on the view screen, or like what were you all reacting to when you were shooting it?
Just the lines in the green screen. That's just us acting. Yeah, I didn't really see. No, I don't think. Well, that's not true. I think at one point, Amanda actually did come to set just to say her lines for like a viewpoint. But for the most part, it was just the green screen. Yeah.
Wow. But still, like, it's so convincing. And she's such a great like villain.
I know. I can't wait for you guys to see more of her. Yeah.
Yeah. So there's also this incredible scene, like this revelation at the end of episode 2 when Beverly Crusher comes on the bridge and then she and Picard see each other for the first time. And he knows now like who Jack is.
Yeah.
What was that like being part of that scene, or like, just being in that like atmosphere?
I think you're talking about as Ashley or as Sydney?
Both.
Oh, okay. As Ashley, I was like, ooh, because it's like, again, history, you're seeing everybody back on the bridge and all this stuff. But I mean, having like the tea of knowing that Picard is, Jack's dad. I mean, it's a little juicy, So I think it's kind of like looking on like sideways and like getting a little bit of side eye, like what's going on,
So you do have so many cool moments of being on the bridge with Patrick Stewart, Jonathan Frakes, Jerry Ryan, Todd Stashwick. But it's also kind of funny too, if like watching you in your scenes, because like you're at the helm. So you actually have your back turned to them a lot of the time.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Yeah. You should have like installed like a little rear view mirror so you could watch them.
I should have, right? Because you see my eyes are like going to the side, doing a little bit, but I can't like fully turn around to like see what's going on,
Yeah, totally. So what's like a special memory you have from working on Star Trek Picard with those actors? Did they give you any advice? Did they take you under their wing? Like, what was it like being with these? Because that cast is legendary and they're also like really mischievous, like.
Oh, yeah. I mean, Jonathan Frakes for sure. No, but I think the moment that I remember the most, I'll say, was what was monumental was stepping on the bridge for the first time. Mm-hmm. That was amazing. I think meeting everybody, for the first time, meeting Levar for the first time. I don't know if I told you the story yet, but like I saw him coming out of his trailer and I yelled across the lot, "Hi, I'm Ashley. I'm going to be playing your daughter," and then running to give him a hug. And then, I mean, later on in the season 2, you'll see there's some action sequences that I mean, it was my first time with stunt training. So I was really excited for that. Yeah.
Did you go through any type of like helmsman training? Is there such a thing in Star Trek? Like, like how to push the buttons or like how to navigate the helm?
Not necessarily. I don't know. I don't remember if they actually zoom in on my console, like the actual things, but there are a couple buttons on there that kind of say like lift off or like something like certain things, which kind of helps. Otherwise, I'm on my own and I'm figuring out like how to go into warp and like doing different things on my own. And also like history of like doing research and seeing how previous people have done it too.
So Sydney is the latest helmsman in Star Trek, but like female helmsman, actually, there's Melissa Navia in Strange New Worlds and Emily Poots in Discovery, and actually Sydney's part of another legacy because Jacqueline Kim played Sulu's daughter, the helmsman of the Enterprise B.
That connection. Yeah.
Yeah. You should all form like a helmsman club and start racing. Who'd win?
Me, Sydney Laporte. Are you kidding? Yes.
Yeah. I think you would too. You also have like the coolest newest ship.
Exactly. So, technology on my side.
But it's also not just the ship, it's also the pilot, right?
Exactly.
So just thinking about what an incredible role Sydney is. She's a cross-section of so many legacies, like we just talked about. TNG, Geordi's daughter, helmsman of Star Trek. Yeah. And, Sydney and Star Trek are going to be part of you for the rest of your career now. What's that like? You're going to go to cons, see people cosplay as Sydney.
I already know that I'm going to cry when I go to cons and see, like, especially like little girls dressing up as Sydney. I already know I'm going to cry. But I'm really excited to meet the fans. Like, so far, they've been so nice and welcoming. And just knowing that I'll be a part of, like you said, I'll be a part of this forever and ever. I'm really stoked. I'm really grateful just to be a part of this universe, you know?
Let's do a little bit of coming up on Star Trek Picard. Can you give us a little tease of what's coming, what Sydney's up to?
I'll say you'll see a lot of, you'll see some family dynamics. You'll see Alondra and Sydney have that sisterly bond with a little bit of mischief. You'll see some action sequences. And you'll really get to see, I mean, outside of Sydney, I think you'll see each character. You'll see a beautiful arc for each character, I'll say.
One last question, I got you. So you're the helmsman, you're sitting there. You have an admiral, you have your captain, and then you also have another captain. Mm-hmm. All three of them give an order, three conflicting orders. Who do you follow?
That's a really good question. That's a really good question. I think, well, that actually comes up later in the season. So okay. I guess you'll have to wait and see who she answers.
Perfect. Well, Ashlei, this has been so awesome. I love talking to you. I hope we get to talk again, later on in the season. We can get to talk about Sydney more. Yeah. And welcome to Star Trek. You're such a great addition to the franchise. And, and I can't wait for you to actually see the reaction from everybody as the whole fandom gets to see this season. It's the best season.
Thank you. Thank you so much, John.
Thanks. All right. Let's talk again soon. Take care.